Today we're going to look at comparing and contrasting specifically the Lost Boys of Sudan. Our lesson objective is I can compare and contrast information in two or more texts using a Venn diagram. So to compare, we want to explain what is the same about two or more items, characters, events, etc. For example, how can we compare oranges and bananas? Well, you eat both of them. They are both fruits. You have to peel both of them. How can we contrast? Well, we explain what is different about two or more items, characters, events, etc. How can we contrast oranges and bananas? Well, bananas are yellow. They're long. They don't have seeds. Oranges, on the other hand, are orange. They're round and they have seeds. We can compare and contrast these two by using a Venn diagram. So in the middle of the Venn diagram, you notice that you have characteristics of bananas and oranges that are the same. They're both fruit, they're both edible, you have to peel both of them in order to eat them. And then you have in each circle the things that are different about bananas and oranges. So the differences that they have between the two. When you're reading a text or watching a video, it's important to look for comparing and contrasting signal words. If you look at compare, you may look at keywords like all, as well as, at the same time, both, like, same as, similarly, similar to. On the other hand, contrasting, you may look for words like although, as opposed to, compared with, different from, either or, however, nevertheless, not only, but, though, and unlike. So as you're reading through your text today, A Refugee Remembers, look for signal words that are showing comparisons and showing words that are showing a contrast. You are going to watch the video, The Lost Boys of Sudan, after reading your story, A Refugee Remembers. And the video is about 12 minutes, so we're not going to watch it all now, but you are going to watch it later.
60 Minutes aired a story about lost boys from Sudan who fought off unspeakable dangers and then flew off to the United States. It all began in the 1980s during Sudan's civil war, in which more than 2 million people died. The boys' parents were killed, their sisters often sold into slavery. Many of the boys died too, but the survivors, thousands of them, started walking across East Africa alone. 5 years later, they walked into a refugee camp in Kenya. That's where we first met them, when many were hoping to go to the United States. Well, 3,000 did, as part of the largest resettlement of its kind in American history. We followed the boys for more than a decade and couldn't resist revisiting them, see how they're doing. But first, we'll take you back to northern Kenya, to the Kakuma refugee camp, springtime 2001.
So you will continue watching this video in its entire length and use it to help you, along with The Refugee Remembers, to compare and contrast life in Africa and life in America, in the United States. So let's review. Remember a comparison? You explain what is the same about two or more items, characters, and events. And when you contrast, you explain what is different about two or more items, characters, and events. You can do this by using a Venn diagram, And in one circle, you would put the differences. The other circle, you would have the other differences. And in the middle, where they overlap, is where you're going to put characteristics that are the same.